required of them, they stepped into the breach. On the 20th of August, the day that the last hunger striker, Mickey Devine, died, Big Bob was captured following a gun attack on British soldiers in Andersonstown. He was later sentenced to 18 years, and the 1983 escape came soon after that. Now, it wasn't all down to Big Bobby. It was a team effort. His job as OC on the day was to coordinate the escape. He always said the biggest contribution to making that day so successful was the comradeship. 38 Republican POWs, the biggest escape in British penal history. 19 got away, 19 were recaptured, including Bobby. He later said of that experience, "I was captured within an hour of the escape, and I was brought to a punishment block and severely beaten. But I was enthused. My morale was sky high. You could not annoy me. Being captured could not undermine the euphoria I was feeling. I was lying naked and battered, but for me the most dominant thought that I had was if the escape was a success, it would absolutely devastate the British government. I wanted to ruin Margaret Thatcher's life. I wanted the British government damaged." So I think we can safely assume that Bob didn't like Maggie Thatcher. Anyone who attended the Great Escape Nights presented by Bobby, Vic and Gerry Kelly will appreciate and applaud the great planning, the cooperation and most of all the courage and sheer audacity of that escape. They will also appreciate those nights as one of the best comedy shows you could ever hope to see. Bob was a natural storyteller, a Shanachie like his mother. He was in the blocks when Sinn Féin stood candidates in elections in the north. The rare mar thubber which process Shikana Soganya, Taki Bobby Gomor Lynn. And it wasn't all plain sailing for him in prison. On one occasion he was put into a cell with Ned Maguire. Now Ned Maguire is a gentleman, but he had a formidable reputation. He was big, he was strong, and he was very, very tough. Nobody messed with Ned. The screws were absolutely terrified of him. Big Bobby was terrified of spiders. And he was awakened the first night by a noise on the pipes, and he thought it was a spider. And he sat bolt upright in the bed, but it was more dangerous than a spider. It was a mouse. So Bobby lay back in his bed, lay in wait with his shoe in hand, and when the mouse presented itself, whack. Down came the shoe. The mouse was no more. That woke Ned, who saw what happened. He growled at Bobby, "You killed my mouse." Bobby didn't sleep the rest of the night, and when the doors opened the next morning, Ned lifted Bobby's bed and belongings without a word and put them outside the cell. That was another narrow escape for Bob Moore. He was released in '94. He went straight back into the struggle, and the fact that it was moving into a different mode didn't faze him at all. He said, "I put the same application into my current work as I did in the past. As Republicans, we're constantly making new sites of struggle, and we have to be alert and scientific in our approach." And during those years, he travelled widely explaining the Republican strategy to comrades and to the wider Republican family. In 1996, he was arrested again, charged, spent 2 years on remand, and was eventually released in '98. He was 44 years old, and he had spent more than 20 years in prison. Cuishe Kyun Chimeracht O Kyun Kin na Chira Eg Kanch Ogusig Kor Dini Aranolos. He described his role. "I spoke to many activists across the country and I would have been a very keen exponent of the leadership's decision and decision-making process. And what it comes down to is this. Many of us were very active in making sure that Republicans were informed about what was happening, so that we could pass the spin, so that people had confidence in where the strategy was going, so that, for example, people knew that the Good Friday Agreement was not a cut-off, that it provided a platform for the next level. Bobby became the chair of Belfast Sinn Féin and then of the Six County Cúige. He worked diligently at building the party, and the result of his work and the work of others can be seen in the strength of Sinn Féin today. Now, this weekend saw the election of Micheál Martin as Taoiseach, as part of the manoeuvre by Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, aided and abetted by the Greens, to maintain the status quo and to prevent Mary Lou MacDonald from becoming Taoiseach. They're entitled to do that, but their refusal to talk to the Sinn Féin leadership